Daniel, welcome to the Business Advisory Show.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. And how's Xerocon been for you?
It's been great. Really good feedback from everybody. Everyone's enjoying the sessions. I really like the way that everybody just gets around and talks to as many people as possible here. It's really quite something to be part of, I think.
Yeah. So tell us about FGS Advisory. What do you guys do?
Yeah, sure. So FGS specialises in helping practices move to the cloud, be that from the legacy server-based software or even from nothing at all, helping practices of more than 10 staff typically get their practices in the cloud, get their practice systems right so they're able to help their clients in more real time.
Okay, so the transition to the cloud for many accounting firms can be reasonably stressful. So, and certainly their perception is that it's going to be very stressful.
Yeah.
In reality, what would you say about that?
Well, probably best thing you can do is prepare for the change and know what you're in for. Our role is to reduce that stress and make it as seamless as possible kind of transition. So we spend a lot of time up front before we push the button and go live to make sure that everyone knows what they're in for, we understand where you're coming from, and we can prepare for that change and get everybody on board early as well. So we have a few things that we go through in our process just to make sure that it's as seamless as possible and all the data comes across right.
Fantastic. And typically, I know how long's a piece of string, but typically, how long does it take to transition a firm to the cloud?
Yeah, it really depends on the size of the firm and how many people we've got to bring along with us. You've got to remember we're dealing with humans, so you've got to make sure everyone's coming along. For a 20 staff practice, we'd say allow 3 months. For a larger practice of say 60, 70 staff plus, we'd say allow 6 from when you say, yep, this is what we want to do, to when you're live and up and running and in the platform fully. Yeah, so it can take a little while depending on how many people you've got with you.
Yeah, and I guess from our point of view, we're pretty passionate about accountants and bookkeepers transitioning to business advisory.
Yeah.
Not throwing out compliance, but adding advisory to their offering. How important do you believe it is to go to the cloud to do that?
Yeah, look, I think it's vital, and it's not that compliance is dead, it's not at all.
No.
What's happening is the time to do the compliance is shortening a lot, so you've got suddenly a spare 3, 4, 5 months in the year, and you've got to know what to fill with that. If you're in the platform yourselves, you're living it and you're able to give that advice as to how it's improved your own business, how your day-to-day looks in the cloud as opposed to not, and then you've got access to all those extra add-ons and all those hundreds of add-ons that are here to really get that advisory work going for your clients and fill that extra capacity.
Yeah. Does it matter where they are located in terms of transitioning them to the cloud?
Not to us, no. We predominantly work in Australia. We cover all of Australia. We've done a few jobs outside of it in the Asia Pacific, and we're starting to look at London as well because we think that's probably the next market to move to the practice platform.
Yeah, right.
But no, the tools work all over the world.
What's the easiest thing and the most difficult thing about moving a firm to the cloud?
The most difficult thing is the mindset and making sure that people are in the mindset and willing to change. It's not about picking up everything that you're doing at the moment and putting it in a cloud-based piece of software. You've really got to look at what you're doing and how you're doing it. Over the years, you've changed your processes to suit your existing software. You've got to change your processes to suit the new software as well. And really, you've got to do that, A, so that it works, and B, so that you're making the most of it. If you're just picking up your existing practice and putting it in new software, you're getting nothing out of it.
Yeah, fantastic. Is there anything else we should know or our viewers out there should know about the transition to the cloud?
Oh, good question. Look, I've said it before, I sound like a broken record, but just prepare for it. Give yourself as much time as you can. Don't wait until 3 weeks before you want to do it and then say, yeah, we've got to get this done by a deadline. Give yourself plenty of time. There's no reason you can't transition outside of 30 June. 1st of July is not the best time. The change, you always view it as surgery. You've got to have time to prepare for it, and you've got to have time to recover from it. And July, we're all really busy around July. In June, you're all busy doing tax planning. In July, you're really busy trying to get year-end stuff done. So try not to do it around July is actually my advice, is do it in a time when you're quieter. It's no quiet time of year anymore, but do it in a time when you're quieter. End of the year, early new year, calendar year is probably better than July, but give yourself plenty of time and uncover what you're in for before you go live.
Fantastic. That's great advice. Thanks for coming on the show, Daniel.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, mate.
Cheers.